since these guys on TV, they making this crazy amount of money, but it's never like that. It never was like that. So when I fought Ricky Burns in Scotland and won my first title, I come back home and I got to fight Gamboa. I'm thinking they're gonna pay me like $1 million.
Yeah.
Nah. So I'm like, what? You know, I just fought this dude. I just went over there. And
You remember what the purse was?
It was like 500,000.
For champion?
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, you know, because that's the type of person that I am. I believe in myself.
I am very sorry for Terence's actions. His actions led to the WBC decide something.
Terence Crawford just did what no fighter ever dared. He's taken on the most powerful organization in boxing, and he's doing it in court. Crawford has officially sued the WBC for a staggering $50 million, accusing them of corruption, favoritism, and financial exploitation.
Mauricio, you know, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am?
The same council that once crowned him champion, the same one that built his rise to the top, is now in his crosshairs. It all started when Crawford refused to pay sanctioning fees for his title defenses. What began as a quiet dispute over paperwork and percentages has now exploded into a legal firestorm, shaking the sport to its core. And the best part? The whole boxing world is watching. Errol Spence has spoken. Dana White's weighed in. Even Oscar De La Hoya's furious. Everyone has a side. But before we dive into a lawsuit and the chaos it's unleashed, we need to rewind to the exact moment the boxing world flipped upside down.
He never paid the sanction fees for that fight. His next fight was Canelo Alvarez. He fought for the WBC title as well as the other three organizations, and he won the WBC title and the undisputed. He became undisputed, and he did not pay the sanction fees for the fight.
December 3rd, Bangkok, Thailand. At the WBC convention, the unthinkable happens. The council officially strips Terence "Bud" Crawford of his world super middleweight title. The reasoning? He allegedly failed to pay sanctioning fees for two of his biggest bouts, the mega fight against Canelo Alvarez and his matchup with Israil Madrimov. To the WBC, it was business. To Crawford, it was betrayal. Hours later, he exploded online in an 8-minute video that instantly went viral.
Boy, you better slap your fucking self and paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanctioned bodies, huh?
His words were brutal. You, the WBC, you got the green belt, which doesn't mean shit. The real belt is the ring belt, which is free. You want me to pay more than the other sanctioning bodies? Take the belt. It's a trophy anyway. That wasn't just a rant. It was rebellion.
Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit, the fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker.
Crawford had just publicly rejected one of boxing's most powerful governing bodies, calling their belt worthless. But while fans cheered his honesty, the WBC was not about to let this slide. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman moved quickly to control the narrative. He called the situation very unfortunate, but stood firm. Crawford decided not to abide by the rules. We had no other choice. Sulaiman insisted the fees Crawford refused to pay were minimal and that most of the money was destined for the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, a charity supporting retired fighters.
And which is unfortunate that most of that money was allotted. It was going to go to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which helps so many fighters around the world. But it's unfortunate that it will carry on this as a money matter, which is not.
Contrary to popular belief, it's not 3% on huge fights. We adjust fees. Of the $300,000 fee, $225,000 went to the fund. Only $75,000 to pay our employees. Sulaiman doubled down on the organization's integrity. Every single penny that comes into the WBC goes back to boxing. We only care for the boxers. But his explanation only fueled more controversy. Many in the sport were skeptical. Big conventions, lavish dinners, and opaque accounting. Fighters were starting to ask, where is the money really going? And that's when Crawford's longtime rival decided to weigh in.
I mean, it makes sense, but I mean, I think he should have talked about it, you know, before, because now he's talking about it when he don't need the WBC anymore. And he should have talked about it, you know, way back when I said something, he should have spoke up and said something about it too, you know, so.
When Errol Spence Jr., Crawford's rival and one of the sport's sharpest voices, spoke up, fans listened. I mean, it makes sense, but he should have talked about it back then, Spence said. Now, he's saying something when he don't even need the WBC anymore. Spence's tone was calm, but his message hit hard. He didn't defend the WBC. In fact, he echoed Crawford's biggest concern, transparency. We need to know where the money's going, Spence continued. All we see is big dinners, big conventions and awards, but no accounting. We don't know where the money's going. Even a rival could see the cracks forming in the system.
We definitely see, you know, there need to be some account of where's the money going, you know, because, I mean, we don't know. Is it going to, because all we see is like them having, you know, big dinners at fights and big dinners fights and, you know, they have big, what's the things they be throwing? Big annual, conventions and things like that. So, I mean, it should be accounting of where the money going, like Canelo's huge purse, and then you get 3% of that or whatever y'all agree on.
Crawford wasn't just fighting for himself. He was exposing something deeper. But while Spence's take was balanced, the next reaction came from someone who doesn't do balanced, Dana White. When UFC boss Dana White talks about boxing, the sport listens, even if it hates what he says.
Listen, if you look at how this thing's playing out, first of all, let me say this. I love that all these guys, all these boxing guys, love the Ali Act the way it is now. I want to see how many of them actually stay there and do that version of the Ali Act instead of the add-on that we're going to do.
White didn't hold back when asked about Crawford being stripped and the WBC's handling of the situation. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see what's going on. The guys crying the loudest are the problem. He made it clear Crawford didn't need anyone's permission to speak his mind. Nobody told Crawford to say anything. Crawford's his own man, doing his own thing, and that's how he feels.
You know what I mean? You don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to see what's going on with all these guys. They're all these guys that are crying the loudest are the fucking problems. They're the problem, every one of these guys. And, you know, Crawford, nobody told Crawford to say anything. Crawford's his own man doing his own thing, and that's how he feels. And
White even took a shot at boxing promoters defending the system. All these promoters saying the Ali Act is perfect, I want to see them stay in it. I guarantee you they won't. It was classic Dana, brash, unapologetic, and brutally honest. And with his support, Crawford's rebellion suddenly looked less like a tantrum and more like a movement.
you know, all these promoters are saying the Ali Act is perfect and this is the way it should be. I want to see them all stay in it. I want every one of them to stay in the Ali Act as it is now for the next however many years. All right.
But while Dana was cheering from the sidelines, another legend saw things very differently. If there's one thing Oscar De La Hoya hates, it's fighters disrespecting the sport's tradition. And Crawford's comments hit him right in the pride. In a fiery Instagram video on December 4th, the Golden Boy promoter let loose.
Today I'm pretty pissed off. Terence Crawford, he told the WBC to basically go themselves yesterday and is refusing to pay sanctioning fees to them for his $50 million fight against Canelo. $50 million!
Today I'm pretty pissed off. Terence Crawford told the WBC to basically go themselves after making $50 million against Canelo. He accused Crawford of arrogance and hypocrisy. Did he forget where he came from? How do you think you rose to that level? Through the ranking system.
Did he forget where he came from? Or how he got there? How do you think you rose to that level? Through the ranking system. You get positioned.
De La Hoya didn't stop there. He mocked Crawford's claim that only the ring belt matters. Now suddenly the WBC is the enemy? Please. The money must have gone to your head. He ended with a personal jab. I thought you had integrity, Crawford. I thought you respected the sport.
Suddenly the WBC is the enemy and the ring belt is the only one that matters? I mean, seriously, Sulaiman has to be rolling in his grave. Literally. I mean, it sounds like you're reading a script or something. Come on, you've been the ring mouthpiece and the chosen one since they came on board 2 years ago.
It was clear the old guard wasn't ready for Crawford's rebellion. But as the boxing world fractured into camps, one fighter tried to play peacemaker. Amid the chaos, Danny Garcia stepped forward, calm, level-headed, and diplomatic. I see both sides, Garcia said. They both right in their own ways. It was a rare neutral take in a storm of opinions.
I see both ways. I see the WBC, I see Terence. They both right, to be honest. They both right. They both right in their own ways. You feel me?
Garcia recognized the legitimacy in Crawford's frustration, but also the structure the WBC brings to the sport. His words served as a short pause, a deep breath between the explosions. But behind the scenes, Crawford was preparing his next move, one that would shake the entire boxing establishment. Just days after being stripped, Crawford struck back, not with punches, but with paperwork. He filed a $50 million lawsuit against the World Boxing Council, accusing them of financial mismanagement, exploitation, and violating the spirit of the Ali Act. In the lawsuit, Crawford's team argues that sanctions deserve to know exactly where that money goes.
What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanction bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanction bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you?
For context, his fight with Canelo Alvarez reportedly generated over $50 million, meaning the WBC's cut could have been well over a case, could redefine boxing economics. If Crawford wins, sanctioning bodies worldwide might be forced to open their books and justify every dollar they collect from fighters. He's not just suing for money, he's suing for change. But what happens if he actually wins? If Crawford's lawsuit succeeds, it could set a legal precedent under the Ali Act, forcing transparency on organizations that have operated behind closed doors for decades. Other champions might follow suit, challenging the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO. The entire structure of modern boxing could shift overnight. But there's a dark side too. Crawford could find himself blacklisted, locked out of title opportunities, or frozen from major fights.
That don't even make sense. I'm the motherfucker that's putting my life on the line, not you. You ain't stepping your motherfucking ass in that ring. You or nobody else. You or nobody else.
The industry doesn't forget rebels easily. Mauricio Sulaiman, for his part, has tried to take the high road. I respect Crawford. I wish him success. He's always welcome back, he said in a recent interview. But after everything that's been said, the insults, the lawsuits, the accusations, that door may already be closing. Crawford might have lost his belt, but in doing so, he may have started the most important fight of his career. Not in the ring, but in court.
The matter is, there are rules, there are structures, there are forms, and the WBC only reason for existence is the fighter, the boxer.
Taking on an empire that controls the sport's very foundation. So what do you think? Is Terence Crawford right to take on the WBC, exposing a corrupt system that bleeds fighters dry? Or did he just burn the last bridge left in boxing? Let me know in the comments, because no matter what happens next, one thing's for sure, this fight is far from over. All right, guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content. And check out our other videos. Until next time, peace out.